That'll do it. There. There we go. I think that's right. I think everything is right. Yeah, everything is right. How's it going, engineer? Alright. Let's see. Alright, chatting. Multi-stream. I can move this over a bit. There we go. Oh, this one's so far gone. Alright. That's fine, man. Shouldn't really need too much. I don't think so. How's it going, G-Boy? Alright. Let's make sure we got everything set up and is good to go. Yeah, alright. I got some references there. Hey, how's it going, guys? How is it in Florida, Spin? I'm not in Florida, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not in Florida. That's not me. Actually, I do need to change this camera, but I mean, realistically, it's probably okay. This needs to be changed, though. That'll be fine. Yeah. Space Lunatic, hey, how's it going? Alright, let's just try to get everything going here so that I have a good idea of what's going on. Okay. Exit that. Let's clear all that. We can remove. Okay, we can remove pretty much all of that. We don't need any of that. Undertaker, hey, how's it going, man? Alright, so it's 8 o'clock now, so we should be good. I'm just gonna make sure that I have this pulled up so that just in case I need to switch accounts and access. Alright. That should do it. And let's go to my channel where I am in fact live. And that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, it looks alright. It looks as good as it's gonna look anyway. It should be fine. Alright. We can kind of get into it now. You know, just in case, I'm going to have this pulled up over here, just in case I need to add something in the chat. You know, like, hey, guys, you know, things like that. And then we can, you know, except spell hey right, so, you know, like that. Prove that I know how to spell, you know. Oh, okay, I did spell it right. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so, yeah. So we're doing a call-in show, and the link is in the description of the video down below. You're welcome to join the chat if you do. Please make your way over to the Furry Call-in show itself. And just join the voice channel there. If you don't really feel like, how am I talking? What do you mean, how am I talking? I mean, what is this? I don't know what you're talking about, Blue Dog. We're using Discord, and the link is in the description down below. to allow you to join the Discord server itself, and we will be taking questions and things for the next 2 hours or so. So you're welcome to jump in, ask whatever questions that you like, and then we will kind of go from there. So, Ghosting, I see that you're in the call show channel. So, did you have a question? Oh, wait. I can't actually even hear.
Yeah, I was just wondering how.
Do what? Scoop again.
I would like to go last, if that's okay.
You'd like to go last?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Like at the very end of the show?
Just out of these 3 people.
Out of these 3 people? Well, Engineers are our narrator,
how much trouble could you get in...
and Scoop is a persistent problem. But what were you asking, Scoop?
You.
What was your question?
How much trouble could you get in for tax fraud?
All of it. Tax fraud would be a really, really bad idea. I don't know the exact penal code. I can look it up for you if you really want to know. Like, like punishment for tax fraud.
Why are you even worrying about tax?
What'd you say, Engineer?
I said, why are you even worrying about taxes?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Point is, I make a lot of money.
You're... Okay. Well...
Why is he making microwave sounds?
Okay. So let's see. Punishment for tax fraud. Let me Google that for you.
Go to jail.
Let's see. Any person who willfully attempts in any manner to evade or defeat any tax imposed by this title of or the payment, therefore shall, in addition to other penalties provided by the law or by law, be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction, therefore shall be fined not more than $100,000. $500,000 in the case of a corporation, or let's see, imprisoned. Okay, it's not giving me the full amount. Let's see, hold on. I think you'd be in prison for about 5 or so years. It's looking like, maybe more, depending. Undertaker by day was going absolutely great. I spent 4.5 hours at a local forge working on Damascus steel. Super fun. But I hope that answers your question, Scoop. Also, don't commit tax fraud. Really didn't think I'd be explaining that on this show, but don't commit tax fraud. And Ghosting, I believe you're up next.
Oh, well, thank you. As a creator, do you ever feel like you have to make a video or have to make content, like you're forced to, in a way? Or does it just feel like a thing you do because you enjoy to?
Well, actually, the most recent video I did that was released today was on burnout. And it actually covered this exact thing, but I'm happy to give you an overview.
Thank you. I just woke up an hour ago.
Yeah. No, it's quite all right. I do understand that some of my audience is from overseas, and therefore, when I release content, sometimes it doesn't translate well until like at least 2 days have gone by. But I think that to answer your question, yes, a lot of content creators feel pressured to create content. The reason being is that we are a source of entertainment for all of you guys. Regardless of how good or bad or indifferent that entertainment is. We are a source of entertainment, and we feel beholden to our audience, and we kind of can sometimes feel like it's our job to do so. Now, that might not be true. I mean, by that I mean that I may not have like any monetary gain to be had from any of this, but I may, I may feel like that I still need to, because my audience wants this thing or that thing, or I told them I would do a thing. Like I have a Friday release schedule that I try to adhere to. So Monday I write videos. Tuesday I shoot videos. Wednesday is for reshoots if necessary. As soon as it's done, it's in the can, we immediately take that and it's sent off to the editor, and Max has it until it is completed. Once it's completed, he sends it back to me, and I do all of these little tweaks and things to make sure I like what I'm seeing, and then I send it out to you guys. And then on Friday, I also do this live stream. And that said, it can be a little taxing on your time, but you do kind of feel forced to do so sometimes, because you've made a agreement. You've said to these people, I will do X. And if you do not do X, then you start to feel like, I don't know, like you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. And that can make you feel kind of stressed. And if the more stressed you are, the more likely that you can enter into a burnout stage. And once you're in there, all the things that you really liked to do, all the reasons you really liked shooting videos, they can kind of fall by the wayside. And that sucks, but, that is what it is. So, short answer to your question is yes, sometimes we do feel forced to make videos. It doesn't mean we don't like making videos. It just means that sometimes we just feel a little bit forced.
Thank you for your answer.
Yeah.
So do I leave, or do I just stay in the call mute?
Well, if you've got another question, we're happy to take that one, since right now, you have me at your disposal, it would seem, for right now, at least for the moment. And so you're welcome to ask anything else that you might like, just for the moment anyway.
I'm going to take that as he doesn't have a question.
Yeah, I will take that as that you don't have any further questions. But yeah, if that's all the questions that you have, you definitely may leave. Yep, that'll do it.
Anyways, so do we want engineers to read my great story that I wrote and you spin?
I haven't proofread your story, so I can't allow that on my show.
Damn.
And until I have a chance to actually go over what it is that you have, let's be kind and say, created for us this week.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I can't allow it on the show. I'm sorry. Although you're allowed to take a timeout, say like 5 minutes. But yes, right. So, but if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, worries, any of those things, please jump into the Discord chat. If you do not want to talk, we do have a text channel that you can send your questions to as well, if you don't feel like putting them out on YouTube itself, and you want just me to see them. Of course, I'm probably going to read them out, unless they're of an extremely personal nature, in which case, why are you asking me? Let's see here.
Hey, Spin, what's your social security number?
No. No.
On a similar note, What's your address?
No. No.
No.
We will not be doxing myself today. But
Yes, doxing you can do though.
yes, it is fair. In any case, Ghosting, you had another question, did you, or was that?
Oh, I think I accidentally just unmuted with my button. My apologies. I'm so stupid.
No, you're fine. If you have another question, you're welcome to ask. You actually have me at your disposal, as I had previously indicated. So if
The only stupid
yeah, what's going on?
oh man, Scoop, 5 minutes timeout.
There you go. Time.
I'm just gonna. I need to make a widget that like puts Scoop in timeout whenever I want. That would be best. It'd be best for Everest. Say again.
You.
Just mute him whenever he speaks.
That's true. I could mute him for the server. That would probably be better.
Yeah. That would be mean. Not being mean spin.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and globally mute Scoop.
Damn it.
There we go. And he is muted for the server. And I will give that, starting now, which is 8:16, I will give him 2 minutes to think about what he's done. But yes. Okay. So, I think we are going to spend the next little bit maybe talking about a couple different things that's going on. One is that there is the possibility that AC will be going ahead as planned. For those of you uninitiated, AC is Anthrocon, and I believe I will be going to that. Oh, we actually have a guest. My apologies. Let's see. Nowhere 8. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. Let's go ahead and take your question, Nowhere 8. Nowhere? Is that how you say your name? Or is it Now Here 8?
Now here 8.
Do you have a question?
I think he might just be vibing.
Maybe. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, so I will probably be going to the first opening of Anthrocon since the pandemic, and that sounds like a lot of fun. Hopefully that'll work out really well, and we will.
I will also be attempting to go to Anthrocon.
Oh, will you, engineer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go, you have to let me know.
No, I'm just gonna show up.
You're just gonna show up and like, you know, just subtly narrate my entire con experience.
Yes.
That sounds vaguely ominous. Although that could be fun. That could be entertaining. Let's see here.
Hey, Spin.
Yes.
You ever hit up the Seattle area? Give me a call. I'll be there.
Okay. I will think about it. I'll think about that.
Oh.
Scoop, is that
Yeah.
common courtesy or a threat?
A little bit of both.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I mean, he's 16. He's not much of a threat. Soviet Sam, how are you doing, mate? I'm
As far
doing
as you
well. I really hope you're doing well as well. Or also.
Wait, I didn't mute myself.
Well, very good. But I will be going to AC if they go ahead with it, because it's the first con that we have had in a while now. Since the last MFF, which is the last con I went to. And MFF is great. I really, really like MFF just in general, because it is a fairly large scale convention, and there's a lot that you can do. But the only thing I hate about it is the hallway. The hallway, if you do not get main hotel slot, the hallway will just absolutely kill you. So much so that we started bringing our fursuits to a friend of ours' room that had a main hotel slot, just so that we could change in there and go down. Because otherwise, it was just absolutely awful. There's just no way. Anyway, Nero Mouse, you've joined the chat, and I'm guessing you had a question? Maybe?
Can I poke spin?
Well, no, because you're, again, not here.
I told you it's my goal to always ask that
Well,
each stream.
indeed. Well, as always,
hey, Ben?
you cannot do so. Yes, Scoop, what is it?
I haven't eaten anything today, and now my sides hurt. Could those two things be related?
Yes. Yes, those two things could be related.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, we're just
Sorry,
gonna,
I need to know for my doctor.
yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and we're just
Scoop,
gonna
I think
go,
that's hunger.
yes, that's probably what
Oh,
that is.
okay.
That's
Okay,
probably
that
what
makes
that
sense.
is. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, something else, but I forgot what it was.
All right.
Where is Anthrocon?
Anthrocon is in Pittsburgh. It's really
I'm not going to that con.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is for Anthrocon it's great. I've not been to Pittsburgh at any other time, so I couldn't tell you if it's great any other time. Most of the cities I've been to because of conventions, and I do not know how they function outside of convention time slots. So, like, it's not, as far as I understand it, Pittsburgh just has furries wandering around in full fursuit all the time. That's the full understanding of how Pittsburgh works to me.
All right, I desperately need to get something to eat, so I'll be back.
Very good. Okay, now here or nowhere 8. Did you have a question or not? Okay. Well, if you don't have a question, guess that's fine. Or let's see, Alex, how are you doing, Spin? I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great as well. All right. But I will be trying to go to AC as best as I can. I think also Denver is on. I know Denver you can already reserve for Denver, and it's supposed to be happening. They haven't got the hotels up yet, but you can go ahead and pre-reg. I think the top badge slot is $400 or $500, which is a lot. But if you just like the shiny badge, that's all right. Andy, how's your day going so far? It's going absolutely fantastic. It's been kind of a long day. I haven't really gotten a whole lot of sleep, but I had to be up very early so that I could be at the forge and start work on a sword that we're making. So that sounds super fun, and I'm really excited about learning bladesmithing, which probably shouldn't be starting on a sword, but hey, that's what the guy is teaching me how to do, so I'm going with that. Alex, well, Let's just say I hurt my back after I slipped and hit a ice rock on my back. That sounds awful, Alex. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. Ghost, did you have a question, or did you just have your mic open?
I keep pressing that button. I'm so sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. Ribbon Fire.
No, that's not my keybind.
Ribbon Fire, buddy, you're up next.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, of course. Take your time.
Meanwhile, in the YouTube chat, Soviet Sam says, and I quote, "Hey, how are you doing, mate?" Yes.
Yes.
What about this a little bit of the-
Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, it's good times. It's good times here. I'm a bit tired, but I'm okay. Just give me 1 second, and I will be right back. It's a little chilly, so I'm gonna put a hoodie on.
This episode of the show is brought to you by Asmodeus Rib Shack and Auto Salvage. Why
I was
have
just
one?
gonna say. Oh,
Both.
I was gonna say Soviet Sam sounds like the Russians' backlash to Uncle Sam. Just make it Russian. I don't know why I thought of that. It's
More
a
like
terrible.
Postman Pat kind of deal.
Where can I find this?
Okay, Jesus. All right, what was that all about?
I have a hotel service bell in front of me, and I have the urge to press it occasionally, so I do, and I forgot I wasn't muted.
Yes. Well, do ensure that you're muted, because some of us are. I just put my headphones back on right when you did that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Just make sure you're muted. Otherwise. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So we talked about AC. We may go over a couple other things. Dinfer is another convention that I'm definitely looking forward to going to, and since it is technically available, I'm gonna try to go to it as well. Thinking there's I think
I'm gonna
MFF
try
will
and make it to Anthrocon and see what happens.
Yeah, Anthrocon would be really good. I'm looking forward to trying to get to Anthrocon, provided that it does go well. Let's see. Alex in the chat says, "What is the most difficult thing that you have faced as being Spin and yourself?" I'm not quite sure of the connotation that's in, so you may have to like being a YouTuber, or just generally like faced with like being Spin at a convention, because if it's being Spin at a convention, almost no one knows who I am, so like it's not really a big deal. If it's being a YouTuber, it's keeping up with the schedule, and making one that works, fits, and continues to give people what they want. I hope that answers your question. If that doesn't, just let me know, and I can rephrase that. Is there a problem with the camera? What do you mean, Spacey Boy? What's the hardest part of being Spin? Nothing really. There's not really a hard part. It used to be the voice, but it's no longer. That's no longer a problem. If there's a problem with the camera, let's just check. Let's just check here and see.
Not the hard part of being Spin.
No. No, you're not the hard part of being Spin. You're definitely
Damn.
you're definitely a part that I didn't consider. But it's still there. All right, we should. There shouldn't really be a problem with the video, not really, unless we got something else going on here that I'm
My
not sure
good
about.
part or a bad part?
It's a part.
I'm watching the stream on another phone, and I'm not seeing any sort of video issue.
No, I'm not either, so I'm confused.
Wow,
Um,
Spin, thanks.
There's a bit of lag
I feel
with the voice,
appreciated.
and I don't really know what's happening with the video, or if I'm just glitching. So, I don't know. I don't think so. Of course, I could check that. There may be just intermittent issues, just in general. I'm not quite sure why that would be, but I'm guessing that there could be. Maybe it's just a signal issue on my end, but I don't think so. Rivenfire, did you have that question pulled up, or did you find it?
Yeah, actually, I did.
Okay.
It was in regard to Anthrocon. I was
Yes.
wondering if they were going to limit the amount of people, if you think that's going to happen as a trend, and if they do limit the amount of people, since they're going to be they are like the con, how are they going to be able to do that? Do you think they'll be able to pull it off, or do you
Well,
think people are going to be generally? I hate to look on the bad side of things, but not listening, so to speak.
Well, the way that I see it is they will probably limit the number of walk-ins if any walk-ins are available. They might require everyone to pre-reg. That way, they can have a set amount of the numbers, and anybody that isn't pre-registered just doesn't get to go, unfortunately. At least that's how I would do it, because it's the simplest way to do it.
They could decide to just not do anything, as well, which is always possible. By the time AC rolls around, the number of people that truly need a vaccine will probably already have it. That said, that's a risk that the Anthrocon is going to have to take, and as it's a continually evolving situation, and we do not know what will happen past several months from now.
They might, during registration, they might also require people to sign waivers that if you get COVID, it's your fault, not theirs.
Yeah, and if they do that, then I could see that as being a reasonable response to the whole situation, just in general. Although I think a lot of people will be Scoop. I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm just gonna server mute you for a minute.
Scoop, no.
Yep, server muted for 2 minutes. Disrupting the peace. Timeout. But such things as they are, I would say that the vast majority of individuals that are going probably fully understand the risks, and I think that if you have somebody that fully understands the risk and still goes, then they send the waiver. It should be fine for the most part. But again, it's gonna really be up to the individual to if they can decide that that's okay for them. Because I want to go, but I want people to be safe, obviously. I just don't want to spend another year where we don't we don't have a convention, and that may be a little bit selfish of me, but we have a vaccine that we know works, and there is no reason at this point, if all of the people that truly need it are first in line, there is literally no reason that we cannot find some way to have conventions that work. Now, what those parameters might be, what it might look like, we won't know until we get there. But I really want to see this go through so that we can return to something that resembles normal. That said,
Well,
there's a lot going on, and whether or not we ever return to what we used to know as normal, I don't know.
I think that's the major thing. Everybody's focused on returning to normal instead of accepting that that the normalcy that existed beforehand will no longer exist. It's a new adjustment. It's just like, and I hate to bring it up as a comparison, but it makes sense. After 9/11, a lot of airplane security and airports and a lot of travel things changed dramatically in order to increase security. And it's the same basic principle on a different scale and for different reasons, but at the end of the day, it is the same sort of trigger to dramatically change what is normal.
Yeah, and
Not so much we're going to go back.
As I do understand,
I would like to disagree with that statement, actually.
Okay.
Because I think, honestly, it'll be something similar to what happened with the Spanish flu, whereas it'll, like, get hyped up, and then once it's actually proper and, not a threat, everything will go back to the state of normalcy. And any non-normal things will be mostly left up to individuals at that point. That makes sense, right?
I mean, it does. Definitely, there was a large amount of. One second. So, there will be a return to normal at some point. What we refer to as normal. Although I think that Engineered has a point that there will be some changes that have been made that will probably stay for the long haul. Now, what those changes are going to be, who really knows? Now, if I was to guess and I was to bet what those changes would be, then I would say that those changes will be to how we conduct business. And extensively the need for brick and mortar. And by that I mean the need for an on-site store, as it were, because that's going to be a thing that causes a great deal of problems. Because online retail stores and things of that nature are much more effective at because they don't have as much overhead. Not normally. You don't need businesses. You don't need sales reps and things like that. You need employees to make sure that the stock gets to where it needs to go, and you need logistics. But you don't need anything besides that. And we may also see something really, really kind of nasty for the kids that are growing up now, which is the possibility that there will be no more snow days. You will just simply do online classes. They're already talking about doing that. And so that could be something that's killed off because it is reasonable to do so. But go ahead, engineer. You were saying?
Oh, I was going to say that Ink Studios.
Oh yeah,
Black Wolf or White Wolf?
Oh yes, I've already answered answer to that. Yeah, it's not.
Woo.
Yeah. But in any case, I think that a great deal of our lives have changed probably irrevocably from now on, but in ways that we might not expect. Now, well, will you be able to go out to eat without having to wear a mask? Yes, you'll be able to do that at some point. You'll be able to, exist without carrying around a mask. That is something that will happen again. It is just a kind of a matter of time and place. I think this whole thing has probably made people more hyper aware of what is necessary to keep yourself safe. Things of this nature in Asian countries, like wearing masks and things when you get sick so that you don't get other people sick. Now, that's something that may trend pretty heavily in the States now because of that, and all around the world now because of this. Just as a courtesy to other people so that you do not necessarily spread a contagion that could affect more people than yourself. So a certain amount of self-awareness might have also embedded itself into our society as to what's more important, doing whatever I want or doing what's necessary for the good of everyone else. And, I know we as Americans don't necessarily like doing anything outside of what we want because that's just how we are, or at least that's how some of us are. That said, I think it's necessary to occasionally, especially when you're sick, think about other people's concerns and what it might actually cost other people. And so this might make us hyper aware of that. And if so, that's a good thing for us to be hyper aware of. So that's something that we could consider. In a long way, I hope we answered your question, Riven. I know we kind of trailed off there, but yeah. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you. I had one more along those lines, though.
Sure.
It's a quick one, not an essay, I hope. I'm wondering if Anthrocon is able to pull off said con and everything goes swimmingly well. Do you think they'll start a domino effect in affecting other businesses, and which other businesses would it affect? I mean, how popular do you think that would become, so to speak?
As to whether or not other places will or other cons will open up. If Anthrocon goes really well, then I think other cons will do so as well. Anthrocon is kind of a world stage con, though, so whatever they do, the other cons will probably follow. Whatever rules they implement, the other cons will probably implement as well, because it's a mistake to believe that that these guys don't talk to each other, that these guys don't chat with each other. The chairmans I know each other, and as such, they're going to talk to each other about varying different strategies to make sure that we get to have a good time and we get to be safe. So that's something that we can consider looking at. Doug MC, hi, how's it going? Did that answer your question, Riven?
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
No problems. Ali Roz, I believe.
Close enough.
How do you say it?
What do you think about Ali Roz? So yeah, basically bang on.
Okay, good. I'm just terrible at that, so I like to try to get people's names right. But go ahead.
I don't know if any of this news is in the States, but in the UK, there's quite a lot of news about the Oxford vaccine's effectiveness on the South African variant of the virus. Because it's proving to be about 10% in trials at the moment.
10% in trials. I do not know if that's true or not. I'm afraid I have not kept up with that particular notation of it. It would not surprise me in the least that a vaccine that we have found isn't effective against the flu, which is in and of itself highly variable, and this one in fact being more destructive than the flu and being the same level of having the same mutagenic properties, I believe is the right word. It makes it even more dangerous. So it wouldn't surprise me that once we find a vaccine for one, we'd have to immediately start working on a vaccine for another, and start the process all over again, over and over again. But I've not kept up with it, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to chime in on this one.
If you'd like.
I don't think we would more have to start over as much just modifying a current vaccine.
That would probably be the case. And maybe I missed.
Furthermore, I don't really think the South African strain would spread too incredibly far, at least in the current political landscape, seeing as travel is just not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand the idea of not having to start over. Just give me 1 second.
Well, Spinner's away, I'd like to do same shameless self-promotion on here, so...
and server mute. There we go.
I could add that it was only the Oxford vaccine.
Yes, it is. It is
I
only.
think other vaccines are proving to be more effective against that of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Moderna.
Just certain vaccines against certain variants.
Yeah, the certain vaccines, certain variants, certain things are going to be more effective against it. It just really honestly depends. Scoop, your microphone is back on and open. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think as far as that's concerned, it's probably not something that we're going to really actually need to worry about too much, I don't think, on the whole. Anyway, Doug the Fourth, you're up next. So if you're listening, Doug.
Come in, Doge.
I don't know that that Doge is listening to us.
Commander Spin, I think he's MIA.
I think so. I think he is.
Tanger Niner. We got a 5793.
And back to server mute.
So, for Anthrocon, since
yes.
you are intending on going, what kind of pass are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the standard pass? Or...
Oh, I never get the standard pass. I always get the ridiculous. Yeah, I always get the god tier pass. I always get the ridiculous tier pass. I never use any of the stuff, to be honest. I usually give most of the stuff away.
I mean, that's fair.
But I just like the badge. I think it's cool, and it makes the con better
You're just
each
as bad
time.
as my roommate.
Probably. I do
You're
this.
just
I
as
do this
bad as my
coffee.
roommate. I like having the status of a god tier badge.
Yeah, I like being able to get in early to things. And you know, it comes with a free T-shirt. Although I believe Ink has taken almost every T-shirt that I've gotten as like a god tier sponsor. But I'm only there to like kind of be an attention whore, so you know, comes with it. Let's see, Castle Nut, what's up? Not a whole lot, man.
So, Doge said, "I'm here. I'm just listening."
Okay. That's perfectly fine if you just want to be here, kind of just hanging out and listening. But yeah, I will probably get I probably get a you know, god tier badge or whatever is offered. You know, I don't know if they call it god tier there or not. I know some people do that. But we will probably do that. If I get one, then Ink will probably get one, and at least this time I get to keep my shirt, which would be nice. I do like the bonus shirts. I know FWA does.
Yeah.
FWA does a
Actually,
lot.
that is incorrect, Spin, as I will come and intercept the shirt.
Scoop, you're not even going. How are you gonna do that? You know, it's my fault. I told him he could
Quantum
leave
mechanics, I actually have.
back into your cave, Scoop. It's my fault. I let him
I
out.
have discovered a method that I can.
Yeah.
God damn it! Every fucking time. Grr.
Yep. Back to your cave. It's peaceful like this, one might say. I'm gonna put him back
I'm
in
really
his
hoping
cave.
that FWA happens this year. Like, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think FWA is happening. I can take a look real quick, but as far as I know, FWA 2021. Yeah.
Like,
they're focusing on
I'm the
virtual
official
events.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the FWA Discord, and so far there has been no word one way or the other definitively, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
Yeah.
FWA is a lot closer than Anthrocon.
FWA is a good one. If you can get to that one, it's great. I would highly suggest that one. As opposed to any of the other things, I'd highly suggest that one. But hopefully they'll get back in with it, and that'll be pretty fun. We'll see though. We really will. I don't know if that'll.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll make do with what cons that we can go to and what we can do. Well, yeah, I'm going to let Scoop back out just for a minute and see if he can behave himself.
Skitters across the floor out of my cave.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. We can't have nice things, and you're sort of the reason we can't have nice things. You know, is what it is. Oh man.
things. I just also want nice things.
Yeah. Robert Wolf, hey, how's it going, man? We really should probably...
Rivenfire asked, what do you think of virtual conventions?
Virtual cons are okay. They're necessary for where we're at right now, but they're not like the best. They're basically a halfway home for conventions. They do a lot to help propagate the fandom and keep it alive and keep things moving forward, as it were, allowing people to share their art, share their work with other people, and have a feeling of connection and a feeling of community. So that's good. But on the other hand, it is kind of a pale imitation of what a real convention is like. You lose a great deal of agency when it comes to that, and it's just something that I would like to see back as soon as possible. But until that time, virtual cons are going to have to do. So, long story short, virtual cons, they'll have to do, because we don't have another choice.
Robert Wolf in YouTube said, working outside is very hard on my hands. It's very cold.
I imagine so. He also asked, what is your first FurCon? Well, my first FurCon was FWA 2018, I believe. That's the first FurCon I went to. Not my first convention, but the first, like, true furry convention that I went to was FWA 2018. I think the theme was Galactic Bounty Hunters. It's pretty cool. And then 19 was Pirates, I believe. And then 20 was canceled. And 21 is canceled.
I believe the theme for 2020 is being moved to 2021.
Yes. And then 2021, it doesn't look like it's happening. It would be a late game play to have it go now. Do you play any games? If yes, which ones? I play a lot of games. Play World of Warcraft, Classic from time to time.
A lot of Pavlov VR.
A lot of Pavlov VR. A whole lot of Pavlov VR. I play a lot of Hades. It's like, as far as just an isometric game, it's great. Pavlov is a great game. I usually play gun game because it's like just I love that particular competitive aspect. I just like I like listening to people get really mad. I just love absorbing their salt. It's great. And I got really good at it. So making other people suffer in game is pretty fun. Do you have any tips on how to properly wash a fursuit? Says Robert Wolf.
Is that why you keep sepia?
I'm sorry? Ghosting? I didn't hear you.
I asked, is that why you keep Scoop here?
Oh, Scoop? Oh. Scoop's actually gone for a while. No,
I know he said he's getting dinner, so he cannot strave.
He can't strive, or strive.
Yeah, I think he spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. it is it is Scoop. So, but I'm sure he'll be fine. As far as tips to properly wash a fursuit, it depends on the type of fursuit. Most fursuit makers have a variety of different different processes that they would ask you to use. If you put it on gentle in your washer and you turn it inside out and you use a very delicate like fabric soap, and you should be fine. But I would ask your maker first before you did anything, especially if there's any electronics, wires, things like that. You know, you're gonna want to like ask about that. I hope that answers your question.
As a person who also makes fursuits, personally, I don't recommend putting your fursuit within 5 feet of the washing machine because it will dramatically decrease the lifespan of said suit if it is made a certain way.
Yes.
Mine personally have electronics in it, so it's a big no-no.
Yeah.
That being said, if you don't want to wash it in the washing machine, like myself, I recommend soaking it in the bathtub and gently rubbing it down with some woolite delicates, and then rinsing it off, and then hanging it to dry. And while it's drying, brush the fur. That way, it doesn't become matted or all squiggly or anything like that.
Yeah. While you are doing that, remember that the fursuit's going to be rather heavy during this time, and this can also cause the fabric to stretch a bit. So you're going to want to be aware of that. So when you are drying your fursuit out, I would suggest rolling it and kind of, you know, pushing some of the water out before you hang it up, and then, as engineer was saying, then you can brush it.
Try and wring out if you can without.
You want to wring it out as much as you possibly can, and then hang it up.
Alex Chin in YouTube said, "Are you a gamer?"
Yes, I am a gamer. There's a lot of different games that I play depending on what's coming out. I would be playing the revision of Demon Souls, but I do not have a PS5 yet, and I refuse to pay scalpers for a PS5. So it'll just have to wait. But Demon Souls is a good game. Dark Souls is one of my favorite series. And if we could just get another Bloodborne, that would be super cool. But, you know, is what it is. We just have to, you know, we have to wait. And eventually we'll either get it or we won't. I think they may be working on another Bloodborne at some point, but no release dates or any real spoilers for that yet. I'm interested in it though. I'm interested in another Dark Souls game. I know that they were kind of moving away from that, and they were moving into like Shadows Die Twice and things like that, which are same type. It is Dark Souls light. Another really good series I liked was Monster Hunter. There's a new Monster Hunter game that's coming out for, I think, everything. But I know it's definitely on the Switch, which is a useful console since I travel a lot. I can take that with me. But I think it's on everything as well, although I haven't double checked that, so I may be wrong. Those games are really good. Lots and lots of VR games. Pretty much anything in VR I'll play. You know, I think it's funny or interesting, and some people really like to see it. Other people don't. So we'll see. I may do some VR playthroughs. Let's see.
So Rivenfire asked, how often does a fursuit need to be cleaned with normal usage? To which I replied, define normal usage.
Yeah.
And I'll let you define what you
okay.
define.
So,
usage.
Normal usage is for me. I partial a great deal, so you won't see me in my full suit like over there. You won't see me in my full suit a whole lot. Because washing it is such a pain, and getting in it and doing stuff, especially when I'm just doing like 3/4 view, it would basically just be the top half of this, and it's just more interesting to have a shirt and like, so like just the arm sleeves and things. So my normal usage of my suit is at least once a week, so I try to keep the head cleaned out, make sure that you spray it down with stuff. Usually a mixture of water, isopropyl alcohol, and your flavor of essential oils or whatever to make it smell the way you want it to smell. Mine smells like Fruit Loops most of the time because that's the one I've got. And I really liked Fruit Loops, so when I had one, I immediately was like, yeah, that's the one. So if you are around me at a convention and you are close to my suit, it will smell like Fruit Loops. Because that's the flavor I got. I forget who made that for me, but it was really good, and I use it a lot. I'm running out of it though, so I'm gonna have to get. That's another reason I need another con so I can go and find it. Yeah. Dogum, see the flavor. Yes, that is what I said. Don't taste it, but
don't taste it.
Don't taste it. It's deceptive. It's gonna smell good, but you're not gonna put it in your mouth. Okay.
It's like cinnamon sticks. They smell great.
Yeah.
But once you try and bite on them,
it's like Gorilla Glue, man. It looks like a hair product, but don't be fooled. It's not a hair product. It's like it's got ultimate hold though. I mean, it'll stay, and it'll cost. Yeah. But to actually answer the question, yes. I would say after 1 or 2 conventions, if they are back to back or something like that, I would at least consider washing the suit after 2 conventions, especially from traveling and storage and all the rest of that. Now, I spray my suit down with all of the fursuit cleaner stuff, especially on like the heavy usage areas, so like your armpits and things like that. You're definitely going to hit that because no one wants to be hugged by a sweaty carpet monster. Like no one wants that. It's just awful. It's smelly, and it's wet. It's wet in wrong places, and and it's like what you can do, though, if you don't want to wash your suit a whole lot and you want to try to maintain that, is make sure that you spray it down with fursuit spray, and also you wear Under Armour under your suit. You look at me. Look at me. All of you filthy creatures out there. You look at me. You wear something under your suit. You understand me? Look at me. Don't look away. Fucking do it. You know who you are. You stop it. Stop. Ugh. There's plenty of things that you can wear under your suit. Under Armour's great.
Cooldown vest.
Yeah. Cooldown vest can increase the length that you can suit as well, but you should still consider washing your suit at least after 2 conventions. 1 or 2 conventions at least, then But I go to conventions back to back, so FWA happens, and then I get back home pack up, and then fly to England. So, you know, that's a huge difference for me. I don't really have time to do that. So usually after the England trip, I will start considering washing the suit fully. At least the bodysuit. The paws are just like, I don't know what particular drug I was on when I decided, I know, I'll have white feet paws because they're cute. And I was just like, oh, it matches my suit, and it's going to be cute. It's going to really work well, and it'll attract all of the dirt ever. And then I'll spend the next, I will spend the next 5 years of my life trying to find a way to clean that. I do actually have a cleaner now that's for carpets and things like that, and it works really well at getting almost all of the stains out very quickly. I think furry fursuit makers made my paws, and the last time she saw me, she looked at the paws and she was just like, when did you clean these last, and why aren't they clean for this convention? I was just like, because I went from FWA to here. I did not have time. And she was quite incensed, and I was just like, then make me some sandals. You know, if you're really on this, make me some free gear. Because she makes some really awesome ones that look like tennis shoes, and those things are just fucking baller. So, like, if you can get a hold of them, they're great. Now, she is a bit on the pricey side, but her feet paws they stand up to everything. Like, they're indoor feet paws, but you could walk outside in them. They're going to get dirty, but you're only going to break maybe like a stitch, maybe. Like, I don't know what she does. I don't know what pact she made with what dark entity, but they stay together. So
it also depends on how people walk, because I doubt very much that you shuffle.
I do not.
And a lot of people in fursuit will shuffle, and so therefore it very much accelerates the deterioration of said fursuit feet paws.
Yes, and that is quite a problem. We actually got a set of feet paws from MFF that someone took indoor feet paws. They were gold and black, and they walked outside on the concrete with predictable results. And of course it scuffed the gold, and they demanded a refund. And of course they couldn't resell them, so they said the first person to get down to the booth gets the feet paws. So we ran from our hotel room all the way down into the convention center to get those. And we got a free pair of feet paws because someone was a jackass. You know, so don't be that person, okay? Like,
don't be that guy.
If you mess something up and it is your fault, own that thing. Don't push it off on someone else. You know, don't try to get your money back for something that you broke. It's like going to Best Buy, getting a TV, and taking a baseball bat, hitting it across the screen, and going, "You broke that. I need a new one." No, you did. You did because you're stupid. Like, don't be stupid and blame other people for it. Anyway, Diorca's been waiting a while to ask their question. So, Diorca, why don't you go ahead and ask?
I actually don't want to. I actually just popped in and I knew you were going live. I was busy on another Discord server watching. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I just got done watching Bolt through Discord server, through another Discord server that I'm in. So
I did not. No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just hopped back in on my other computer. I was on my other laptop. I've got two laptops, so I was on that one watching it to my TV, and then had Discord off on this one because this would use up too much bandwidth.
I see. Okay. I just thought you had a question. That's all.
No, I usually pop in. I like to pop in and kind of be part of the conversation.
Yeah, we're trying. We are trying to.
I noticed, you're talking about because and how expensive.
Yes.
I have to say your example of taking a TV and smashing it, deliberately smashing it, and ask for a refund. That goes along the same lines, and I have to agree.
Yes.
If you're going to be stupid about something that you paid big money for, you're going to have suffer the dire consequences of it.
Well, yes, and the problem was that when we have people that are consistently breaking things and asking for refunds and things like that, you shouldn't be doing that, because one, you are putting a maker out of money, and their margin of error is really small. And people often talk about fursuits being too expensive. All the rest of that is like, you're literally getting a piece of art. First and foremost, fursuits are not necessary to be in the fandom, and I will continue saying that over and over again until someone believes me. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone will believe me.
I believe you. I believe you on that spin.
Don't believe him. Buy my stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, the margin of error for those guys is pretty crazy when you consider how many hours goes into a fursuit. How many hours of work goes into a fursuit, and you have to then break down the price tag of that fursuit, the parts for that suit, and by the time you break it down, I think they're paying themselves just below minimum wage per hour to make that suit, and that's the problem. Is people have a tendency to not see that, and they have a problem of thinking, I want a fursuit, but I want to pay this much money. Well, then you're going to have to go with a different maker. You're going to have to go with someone else, or maybe just a partial, or maybe just remember that fursuits are not necessary to be a part of the fandom. As my buddy Aaron has said.
I agree with you on that spin.
As my buddy Aaron had said. He said that it was it's not necessary to be a part of the fandom to have a fursuit, but it is if you want anyone to give a shit about you. And that's it is it's not necessarily the best thing to feel, but when you're talking about who gets the most attention at conventions, it's fursuiters. It is fursuiters and artists. Those are your two. Those are your two main types of people that are going to get attention, because that is a lot.
I'll tell you one thing, Spin.
Yes.
Of course, I've joined the fandom back in 2016 or something like that. I never really even had a suit until I had a roommate living with me and paying me $300 a month in rent. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this extra money that I'm hanging on to? Well, I found someone online who's independent, who's just kind of starting out with fursuit building and stuff.
Yes.
And is bringing Diorca to life.
Well, that's good.
So he's a partial. She's kind of dealt with with this whole pandemic going on. Her life kind of went into a little bit of a downward spiral for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of being patient. So I understand life kind of gets in the way of things, and up until recently, she got back into her decent mindset and started doing more work on Diorca, and I got progress to prove it.
something to remember. Also, William Lemon. Hey, Spin. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I hope you are too. But something to keep in mind when it comes to this kind of thing is just like, of course, having a fursuit makes a difference, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It's all about your mindset. I mean, like going to a convention and having fun with your friends is what's more important than anything else. Meeting new people, and maybe eventually you will get a fursuit. Maybe you won't. That's entirely up to you. But my suggestion is to look at it from this point of view. If you are deciding whether or not to get a fursuit, and you are having to choose between fursuit and food, regardless of whether it's a partial or full suit or whatever it is, if you are choosing between that and getting food or paying your bills, then I suggest that you do the necessary first. Do all of the things that are important to actual life. These things are a luxury product. They are not necessary. Therefore, it is very expensive to have these, and it's expensive to keep care of these things. Rivenfire had a couple questions here, I think. Let's see. Does that mean that furries who wish to dance in suit need a more durable suit, or have to pay more because of it? It really depends. You definitely probably have things like attachable feet paws, things like that. You don't necessarily need that, but if you are going to be dancing in suit, it's probably a good idea to tell your maker that you are intending on dancing in suit, and so that they can make any type of adjustments or maybe shore up some of the stitching, because you're more likely to engage in movements that are going to pull your suit a little harder than the average fursuiter, if we can call fursuiters to be average. Let's see. Do the fursuit makers get as much attention as the fursuits do? Yes, they do. In fact, some of them are minor celebrities in their own right. Just look at Multicolored Bark. I swear to God, if you get a Multicolored Bark suit, you basically get 20K followers on top of that. It's a crazy thing, because Multicolored Bark is so good at what they do. And but their suits are at least $10,000 to $13,000 a suit, for a full suit.
Holy
digigrade.
crap.
So if
Holy
you are going to get one of those, then you are going to pay through the nose for it. Now, the quality of her suits is awesome, just crazy.
I can imagine paying that much for
Yeah. Well, if you've never seen a Multicolored Bark suit, I suggest you go and look them up. Now,
I probably will.
those are not going to be... now, I intend on getting one of those at some point. I truly do. I think I've got just the character for that. I've got a character called Empire that will be made by them if it's going to be made. And... there's something else as well that I'll talk about again. I've talked about it a couple times. So I'll talk about it again as well here in a moment, about the future of Spin and what's going to happen. Let's see. I had a...
You're gonna get a 2.0.
Yeah, just give me a second there, Diorca. I need to catch up on some of these people that had asked a few questions here, and I just missed them. And Engineer is at work, so he can't really help me out on this one. Hey Spin, I've been thinking of starting a YouTube. Should I start? Well, that's Doug MC was asking, and yes and no. It really depends on the type of channel that you're intending on starting. But whatever you do, make sure that you do it because you enjoy doing it. Make sure that you put some passion into it, and that you put a lot out there for other people to really see, and don't just do it half-heartedly. Like, really put yourself out there for it, and see what happens. Best case scenario, you become very successful. Worst case scenario, you did something that you might thought you couldn't do. That's what happened to me. Is I didn't think that I could do YouTube or anything like that, and I didn't think that I would get anywhere with it, or that there would be anyone that would care whether I did it or not. And it's arguable that that people do, and it's arguable that people don't, based around my subscription numbers and the number of people that turn up to watch stuff that I do. But I would say to you that I am of two minds of that you should only do it if you're going to put your heart into it. It's not something to be entered into lightly. Shooting schedules can be very difficult, depending on what you're trying to do with YouTube. And it can be a rough road. It can be something that you can really spend a lot of time trying to make happen, and it never happened. One of the best things you can ask yourself is that, when you're looking at other people's content and all the rest of that, if you're considering doing content like them, what's going to make your content different? Why are people going to want to watch you over them? And by that, I mean, to clarify that, is that what makes your channel different? What makes it stand out? And you need to find what it is that you're going to do to make your channel stand out. It doesn't mean that you can't. It just means that you need to have that kind of vaguely in your head, the place that you want to go and how you want to push for that. Let's see. I hope that answers your question.
What you're saying, because that's it.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question, DogMC. If it doesn't, just let me know. Go ahead.
That actually is a pretty good response, Spin. That's
Well,
good response. I was actually going to say the same thing.
It's well, the thing is,
I'm talking about.
Yes, it's just that I've been doing it a long time now, and I say a long time. It's been like 2 or 3 years, but I've been doing it for a while now, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to putting yourself out there and figuring things out. I think it's important for everyone. And I think that I think that you, no matter what you do, whether it's YouTube or not, that whatever you do, put yourself in there completely. Throw your passions directly into it. There's no sense in doing it half-heartedly. It's just to paraphrase Yoda, is that do or do not. There is no try. You must do it. Is the let's see. But 1 second. Let me just. Okay. But there is no real try when it comes to this. And I really want to get this across to you guys, because this is something that a lot of you guys, like when you guys ask me about YouTube and like whether or not you should do it, whether or not you should be involved in it, it doesn't really matter what it is that you're involved with. It really doesn't matter what you do in life. What matters is how you approach life. And you absolutely have to put yourself completely into what you're doing. There is no sense in going into something and just kind of like half-hearting it, because you're not going to see the results of what you could be. And you could be so much greater than what you are. As they say, it is not our darkness that scares us. It is not that we feel that we are inadequate. What scares us is our light, that we could be greater than we've ever imagined. That's what frightens us, and that's what holds us back. So many people prevent themselves from taking that first step, that first initial step on that journey, because they look at how long the road is and they go, "Oh, I don't think I can make it." Well, if you don't think you can make it, those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually right. So you need to decide right here, right now, if that's what you want. Because you need to commit fully to what you do, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's going to school and making sure that you make the dean's list. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. But you must put yourself into it fully. You must commit yourself to being the best at that thing. You must be as good with a sword as you are with a brush, meaning that you cannot be just good at one thing. You must be good at all. Like you must try to put yourself out there as much as possible. I don't know how else to best say it, guys, but I hope this makes sense to you guys, because the idea is that you can't just, like, oh, well, I'm gonna be a good YouTube personality. Awesome. Well, how good are you with a camera or setting up your lighting? And it's like, well, I'm not very good at those. Oh, do you have a crew? Well, no. Then you better get good at setting up your camera and your lighting, because no one's gonna do it for you. No one's gonna seek anyone out to help you. No one is going to care if you succeed or fail at the beginning. They might care later when you're popular enough, but they're not going to care when you start out. So you need to be self-sufficient. You need to learn as much as possible about your craft and how to be good at every aspect of it. Now, does that mean you need to be a master at everything? No, you don't. But you need to know how everything functions, why it functions, and how best to go about things. So I hope that helps, because it's something I wish someone had said to me much earlier on in life. And I wish that someone had said that to me, and I would have taken it to heart, because I didn't fully understand that the difference between a winner and a loser is that winners have reasons and losers have excuses. And you need to know the difference between those two things. Because if you're just making excuses for yourself your entire life, then that doesn't matter. Excuses are pointless. It's just wind. Like, oh, why couldn't I go to work today? Oh, well, my car wouldn't start. Oh, okay. Well, did you ask someone for a ride? Well, no. Well, why didn't you? Well, I didn't want to bother anyone. I mean, okay, but you could have made it. So that's money that you left on the table, right? So I hope this helps, guys. I really do. I'm not trying to be cynical or anything. I'm actually really trying to help you guys out when it comes to that. But I do hope that you start a YouTube channel, and I hope you succeed. But throw yourself into it completely. Don't hold back. That will be the biggest mistake that you'll make. Let's see. I think I missed a question here. I think Riven said, do you think it's hard work that goes into making fursuits is taken for granted? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's definitely taken for granted how much people put into suits, especially with how little care some people take of their suits. These are pieces of art that people have spent a great deal of time on creating for you. And yes, it is yours, but it shows who you are when you don't take care of the things that you have. It shows the disregard you have for the work that other people have put into it, and how much actual passion you have about it. That's really it, to be honest. Was it Stala Sonic? Hello? Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. you kind of caught me mid rant about making yourself better, because you really can. You can be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. You always can be, and I hope that works out. Yes, Scoop.
So on the topic of YouTube, will you be tuning into my stream then, Spin?
I didn't know that you even had a channel, Scoop.
I'm just kidding. It's Twitch, and I'm doing every Saturday or Friday. I haven't decided. Maybe both.
Saturday and Friday. And what do you play on Twitch, Scoop?
Whatever I have, really.
Okay, so you don't have like a specific thing?
He just constantly reads Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto.
I see.
Oh, that's already a recurring segment on the show.
I see. Okay. Well, that's all right then. All right.
So I'll put you down for a yes.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that, or maybe I won't. Okay. Do we have any other questions? I'll take a moment.
How unrelated to the situation can the question be?
It can be completely unrelated. It can be about anything that you want it to be about.
Okay, I'm playing one of my favorite games right now, so I'm gonna ask you: Half-Life 1 opinion.
Half-Life 1. It's a really solid game. Gordon Freeman is a great character. I believe his name is Gordon Freeman, unless I'm completely mistaken. But it's been a while since I played. Like, God, years since I played. But it's still regarded as a great series, and for good reason. There's a lot of good elements to it. I mean, I have Half-Life Alyx on my VR because it's just a great world, regardless of what character you play in that world. It's a great world, so much so that's like that. Black Mesa is pretty synonymous with gaming. Everyone knows it, even if they've never played the game, because everyone knows Portal, and everyone knows Aperture Science, and everyone knows Black Mesa. So, like, it did so much for Valve, as a company. It did so much for everything. So many people bought the orange box, because of slight tie-ins to that world, and it's just so immersive that, yeah, I mean, how are you not gonna know what a head crab is? How are you not gonna, how are you, not going to like sit up at night and think, it's just like, oh, well, if I had a gravity gun, how would that really work? There's things like that are just interesting, and they're just little elements that they put into it to make it eerie, spooky, and feel like an advanced world, but a dirty world, like a used world. And I have to say, like, just playing Half-Life Alyx, it was super fun. So that's my opinion. Okay, we are about 20 minutes out to the end of the stream. We don't have actually a whole lot of people watching, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to finish this out. I'm going to take just a quick break to get something to drink, and then we're going to finish out this hour. And that's going to be it for this stream for this week. And you can join us again on Friday at 8 o'clock. We may move the time around a little bit to to convenience more people. But I will be right back. I need just 2 minutes to get something to drink. I didn't make a cup of tea this time, and I should have. But I'll be right back with you guys as soon as possible.
Did he take his headset with him?
No, I don't think he did.
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Then I would like to promote my sponsor, Kellogg's Cereal. Kellogg's Cereal, sponsored by Scoop.
Kellogg's cereal.
You know, you could have made a scoop of Raisin Bran joke, but you didn't, so I'm disappointed.
Well, what shape is the cereal?
That's a good question.
Very
Like,
good question.
All right, like, is it an off-brand? I don't know, Cheerio.
Actually, we call them Happy-O's. They're not Cheerios, not branded. Sorry, can't say that. You'll get arrested by Kellogg's.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
Turned into
So, Spin, what's your opinion on Kellogg's cereal?
Kellogg? Like the guy Kellogg?
no, like the
No.
brand.
No, the cereal.
The cereal? The cereal's fine for the most part. You know, I know way too much about the
But which type?
like there's a lot of different types that I liked. I wouldn't honestly know. You know, but I mean, I liked Frosted Flakes a whole lot. So, like, I'll eat those.
Well, they got an anthropomorphic. Put it this way, that should be. This might sound kind of controversial, but shouldn't that be more based around furries now because they have an anthropomorphic tiger?
Well,
Yeah.
considering that a lot of furries got banned from Tony's Twitter because they kept sending very lewd things, I'd say that they don't. You're part of the problem, Scoop. You're always part of the problem. I don't know why I would think otherwise. Yes, I'm sure you are.
It just kind of amazed me. It's like it kind of like just dawned on me now. It's like.
But yeah,
half the furry fandom, I think, has to be more safe for work than the NSFW.
Yeah, you would think so. Yet lots of people got banned. I think still if you have a furry profile, and you comment something on, doesn't really matter what, I think you'd still receive a ban.
Who even comments on the Kellogg's Twitter or the Tony the Tiger Twitter account?
Wait, is there some guy just working at Kellogg's pretending to be Tony the Tiger? As his
I mean,
job?
I'm sure there is. I mean, there's someone working for Wendy's that pretends to be Wendy. You know,
that feels really sad.
You know, it is
Imagine
a
having
sad thing,
a job.
but I mean, now granted, Wendy's like Twitter, like whatever the social media person is, like you know, she's just a straight fucking savage. You know, it's just like people ask questions of her. It's just like, you know, you're at, I'm at In-N-Out. What should I get? Out. You know, it's just crazy shit that she says. It's like,
I think it's just some heartless corporation pretending to have a soul.
No, it's definitely probably a heartless corporation pretending to have a soul. Sure, however, it's still funny, regardless if it's heartless corporation or not. You know, we should all be so lucky as to own heartless corporations in the future. But that said, yeah. I have no particular problem with Kellogg's outside of the original founding, person, Mr. Kellogg. He was a religious nutbag, but
Well, What
That's
person in today in that right would have been? I mean, he's the one that's first kicked off cornflakes.
Yeah, but I mean, Kellogg was a religious fanatic, and you know, he thought he thought that people eating Kellogg cereal would prevent them from doing naughty things. But
What?
yeah, Kellogg is a crazy person, or was a crazy person. He's very, very dead now.
Spin. Spin.
Yes.
I have a note here from the Kellogg's Corporation. Mr. Kellogg didn't actually exist.
We have pictures of him. We have pictures of him.
They're all doctored.
That's something else.
Are you slandering Mr. Kellogg?
Oh, Mr. Kellogg slandered himself. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to raise a finger to just besmirch the name of Kellogg. Kellogg did that all by themselves. Or at least Mr. Kellogg did that all by himself by being a religious nutcase and a fundamentalist.
Wrong.
The only big main company out there besides Kellogg that I think is by surpassed Kellogg's, the Kellogg company, is General Mills.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of these companies are all owned by parent companies. So there's only about 5 or 6 companies that actually exist, and everything else is just a subsidiary of that other company.
But I mean, General Mills owns quite a lot of. If you look at the back of every a Duncan Hines box or Betty Crocker, I should say, Betty Crocker or Betty Crocker box, it actually says General Mills on the back.
Well, yes.
Wait,
I mean,
cereal is like the plot of Metal Gear Solid 4?
But that's the thing, though, is so General Mills, as a company, they are owned by somebody else, and that's a completely different thing here. So if we look for General Mills and their parent company is different, because most of those companies are owned by PepsiCo, Kellogg, Coke, Nestle, Mars, Cadbury owns a few, but Cadbury is also owned by, I'm not sure how to say that, Models, Mondels. So there's so many different companies that are owned by that. Maybe General Mills does own this, but they also own, let's see,
I know a big name company out there actually in this popular.
Maybe that's it.
Hershey.
Yeah.
Literally killed.
Yeah, so there's so many different companies that are owned by so many different other companies, and it's crazy to try to piece it down to the very bottom company that actually owns it, who's over all of those things, because of all the subsidiary companies that exist. It's absolutely insane.
Is it just a dictatorship?
Well, it's not really a dictatorship. It's more of an oligarchy, which is is basically what it is, which is it's a company that basically owns everything and can influence the government, which that doesn't happen. So I mean, I'm sure we're safe from that.
Hey, you don't know. They could be Coke. Yeah. The company could be.
Yeah.
Setting up explosives in our houses.
Now, well, I doubt that they're doing things like that, but we'd probably be highly mistaken to think that they're not lobbying.
Disney did change the entirety of the copyright system.
Disney owns a lot. Disney is crazy. It is easier to name the things that Disney doesn't own than it is to name the things that they own. They are once you have sold your soul to the mouse, that's it.
What's your opinion on Disney buying Blue Skies, the animation studio, and then shutting it down immediately.
I think that the fact that Blue Skies had an animation that was just about to go live in a couple months and they completely trashed it was an absolute shame. We will never see what that was.
Wait, Blue Sky's dead?
Blue Sky is dead.
Yeah.
The company is dead.
Now.
Yeah, Blue Skies is dead. Like, Disney bought it so they could shut it down because it competes with their interests. It's easier just to absorb all of their ideas and make it theirs. Disney will probably release something that looks vaguely like Blue Sky's stuff here soon. But, we'll see. Companies are crazy. And the further up the chain you go,
right.
The
weirder it gets.
Yes.
Can I make a channel recommendation?
You can.
There's a YouTube channel I watch. He puts a video out every Wednesday. It's called Company Man. He does
Yeah, I love that guy. He's great. Yeah. That guy's great. I love him.
He does the declines of Radio Shack, Sears, and
oh yes,
City,
okay.
And then he does
He
does or the rise and fall and rise again.
Yeah, just random companies.
Yeah,
I love his intro.
It's an interesting thing.
If you want to know more about companies that way and big name companies, check out his channel. I recommend it.
Yeah.
Because he also gives down a big breakdown of all their stats, their income-driven things. I
suggest the 7-Eleven video.
So that's just my recommendation.
There are plenty of good channels out there, and the more that you know about how the world works around you, the better prepared you're going to be for how life can be a little unfair, and by unfair I mean definitely unfair. It's shocking, but the more you know, the better. And again, I that's why I encourage people to learn more, to do their own research and things, to come up with their own thoughts and opinions instead of just parroting back what they hear from their teachers or whatever. You are your own person, and
right.
You're capable of thought. Yes, you're
free to give your own thoughts to whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you're free to do whatever you like in that regard. I would highly suggest that people continue to think for themselves, and to not just go off of what the groupthink is, because it's so very dangerous to get lost in groupthink. It's so very dangerous to lock yourself into an echo chamber and prevent yourself from actually seeing what's going on. If all you have are people that tell you how right you are, you will never question, what it is that you think. It's why church groups work so well. Because it's easy to convince people when you're in a group and you want to be accepted, because psychologically human beings want to be accepted by the group. We are social animals. So we don't like it when we are ostracized from a group. We don't like that kind of thing. It bothers us on a very deep level, because being a part of the group meant safety, and that is still inside your head. Being a part of the group means safety. Outside the group means danger. So you will do whatever you need to do. You will change whatever beliefs and whatever thoughts you have to be part of the group. This coincides with thoughts that you basically go, oh, well, that seems a little wrong. Cade Wolf said hive mind. Yes, very much so. You begin to assimilate to that group to such a degree that you no longer have your own thoughts and motivations. You only have the thoughts and motivations of the people next to you, because having thoughts and motivations that run contrary to them is dangerous. Not only is it dangerous to you because you could be ostracized, but it doesn't works. It doesn't work that way. It's just not something that you can do and get away with, because the fear of social punishment is very real, and they will keep you in line one way or the other, no matter what. They will keep you in line. You will believe what they say, or you won't be part of the group, and that becomes a serious problem, because it means that you can't question things, which is exactly how religion works. You can't question things, and
That's how you get into a cult.
yes, that's exactly how you get into a cult. There's plenty of other things, and plenty of cults exist. Christianity is a cult. All of those things are, and any religion that you want to name is a cult. It's, it may be a bigger cult than others, and people are like, oh, well, it's not a cult because it's the good guys. Like, no, it's still a cult. A cult is just a group of like-minded individuals based around a religious ideology. It's basically what a cult is. And it was the cult. It is a vast oversimplification, but it's the only one that is necessary.
Well, I would disagree with that statement. Say there is a way that religion can be constructive.
You can suggest that it can be constructive, and we can definitely go over whether or not it actually is constructive. Of course, this isn't really an atheist talk show, as it were. I could go into that, and to the degree of which I think that religion is far more harmful than it is useful. But that's my personal opinion.
Oh, also, your eyes taste nice. Thank you.
That's gross, and you're in timeout for 15 minutes.
No.
Back to your cave. Yeah. But yes, religion being what it is, I try to take a laissez-faire sort of attitude about things. Do whatever, as long as it doesn't affect me, I don't really care. If you keep it to yourself, it's fine. Keep religion to yourself, it's fine. The moment that you no longer keep religion to yourself, it's going to be an issue. Because at that point, you're actively trying to convince other people of your ideology, in which case you set up parameters that make it not okay to question that ideology, and kind of trap them into that. Sort of like, I think you can be like the Jehovah's Witnesses and things like that. You can, or the Church of Mormon, you can be excommunicated from that. I forget exactly what it's called. It's not called excommunicated, though. If I had Ragabash Dabbler here, he would be able to tell me.
For Mormons, it's actually 100% called excommunication.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was completely off base for that. I thought it was called something else entirely, where you're completely drummed out.
For Jehovah's Witnesses, it's disfellowshipped.
Is what?
Disfellowshipped.
Fellowshipped? I don't know if that's... I could probably actually just look that up. Disfellowshipped. Okay. All right. That could be a problem. Disfellowshipped. Yeah, that could be a an issue, and like you have all of your friends and everyone that you've grown up with in that community because they've made it so. Becomes a problem, does it not? You can't talk about it. You can't, you can't question it, because to question it, to question the elders is to risk being effectively divorced from your own family, of your of your not of your own volition, and yeah, it is the point. It holds you hostage, and any organization that has to hold you hostage in order for you to believe it isn't something that you want to be involved with. Anything that holds you morally or emotionally hostage is an organization that you do not want to be involved with, because they can manipulate you to think and act however they want and not what might be best for you. So
Spin,
yes.
How would you escape that?
How would you escape that? You would have to make the sacrifice. That's the only way out. You would have to make the sacrifice, and you could try to basically burn down the house while you leave, and say I'm leaving and I'm taking as many people as I possibly can to do as much damage to your organization as I possibly can, on my way out. And such things as to basically try to convince as many people that what they're living in is a dictatorship that is run by that kind of thing. But I would suggest that, like, if that's what you have to do to escape that type of emotional manipulation, because it is emotional abuse. It's a abusive relationship. The moment that someone uses your emotions and your family ties in order to twist you into doing something that is morally or ethically dubious, you are in an abusive relationship with that organization. I mean, now we do know that parents do emotionally manipulate their kids into not hurting themselves, and there's a different line there. There's a different thing into basically saying, I'd rather you didn't, and I will be disappointed in you if you do these things, because your parents, if those of you that still live with your parents, or otherwise maybe you're under the age of 18 or whatever, either way, that your parents are still a center crux in your life. Your parents probably care a great deal for you, and your parents probably want the best for you, and your parents probably have fucked up more than you have. And it is said that the I forgot the analogy for that one.
Basically just explained a YouTube video of, I spent a day with ex-cult members. Girl, she was in like a cult.
Oh, no, yes.
And she just left her family. Homeless for like days.
You basically would have to. Your parents normally want the best for you. They do. Now it becomes very, very foggy when your parents are involved in a cult or something like that. It's a very rare situation when that actually happens, but it does happen, and that then in that case it becomes really murky what you should do, and I would feel uncomfortable giving the advice that you would need to try to reconcile that particular event. But suffice to say, it's like saying, like, your parents want the best for you mainly because of the ideology that the master has failed more than the student has ever tried. Meaning that you have effectively this process of like saying, like, I don't want you to go out with these people. It's like, oh, well, they're my friends, or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, but I've seen this happen before. It's like being able to see into the future and say, like, yeah, that's not going to go well because I did that and it didn't go well. And that's not to say that it won't go better for you, but it is to say that statistically speaking, they probably know how this is going to turn out because, you know, the year changes, but people really don't. Their initial goals and aspirations don't, and they might want the best for you, you know. But that's my opinion on it anyway, you know. You know, I don't.
About Mormonism?
Do what?
Was I just came back? Was everyone talking about Mormonism?
We were talking we were talking about cult-like behavior, and we were using Mormonism as a jumping off point. As to why it is effectively a abusive relationship and indoctrination. You know, there are things that you are not allowed to do. You know, it's just like, well, you know, there are things that kids are not allowed to do because they cannot be seen to be able to make a moral choice whether or not to do it. And like, say, drinking. You're not allowed to drink until you're 21 because, you know, you're not capable of making the choice, supposedly. Yet, if you are not able to make that type of choice, why is it that you're allowed to join a church before the age of reason? You should be able to reason out things. Because at a certain point, you believe your parents about absolutely everything, and you will believe whatever fairy tale they tell you. So what's the difference between a fairy tale that they tell you in a book and a religion that they have used to convince you to do good things? You should do good things regardless. You should not do good things because you might get rewarded with cosmic karmic cookies. You should do good things because you're a good person. If you need a book to tell you not to do bad things, please read that book, but I don't want you anywhere around me. Because all that's standing between me and you killing me is, you know, a few pages telling you shouldn't. But most people don't need a few pages telling them that they shouldn't kill anyone. They shouldn't steal things. You know.
Wasn't this the part of a very good Bo Burnham song?
Yeah, actually, Bo Burnham did a great song on this. You know, it's I think it was like a song from the perspective of God, and but Bo Burnham did a great song on that, and also Penn Jillette did an excellent bit on the same thing, of like, you know, not wanting to commit any crimes because, you know, he doesn't want to, not because, you know, Magic Man in the Sky told him not to. But you're free to believe whatever it is that you want to believe. You're free to believe in, you know, in a deity if it makes you happy to do so. You're free not to believe in a deity if it makes you happy to do so. But you should be cognizant of when someone is manipulating you with your emotions, whether that be in a physical relationship with another person, or whether that's in a relationship with an organization. You know, learn to see when you're being emotionally cued to act in a certain way, and what happens when you don't act in that certain way. And, you know, as they say, it's just like, think about the people that you're unallowed to criticize, the people that you mustn't criticize. Those are the people that hold power. So,
oh no, I just thought of something very unprofessional.
Well, yes, there's probably plenty of things that are unprofessional.
When you said that, I immediately thought of that one person who says, yes, children with cancer, because you can't criticize children with cancer, and I feel bad.
Yeah, that might be a completely different line of logic, but
yeah,
you could definitely...
No, I feel bad for thinking about that person's quote.
Yes. Kada Wolf says freedom of religion and freedom from religion. Yes, that is what we have. That is what you're supposed to have. At least in the States, we're supposed to have that. Anyway, guys, it's been 2 hours. I'd like to thank you guys so much for joining us, but we're going to have to end that here. One final thing I'd like to discuss before we really shut everything down. Spin is going to be getting a version 2.0 at some point. We will probably be going with Leica Palette, which is a Korean kimono style fursuit maker. They're going to basically be completely redoing Spin, so Spin probably won't look really anything like he used to.
Is it a different animal or hybrid?
No. It will still be a fox, but it will be a different color palette, and I'll be what I will be doing with 1.0 is I will be raffling 1.0 off to someone who does not have a fursuit. They will get everything of Spin's once the new one arrives. We will raffle him off. You will get the feet paws, the hand paws, the tail, the head. And we will probably make you a custom badge that says not Spin. So if you don't already have a fursuit, you are welcome to enter. It's a way of it is a way for people to receive something and hopefully take this character like I did and create something interesting with it. Of course, this is a Lemon Brat fursuit.
Do keep in mind that Spin is a very tall person.
I am about 6'1", so you'll get the bodysuit. But if you're if you're shorter than that, you may have to have them adjust it. But
if you get like, I don't know, let's say if you get 1 million subscribers, your suit's gonna be worth maybe $100,000. Are you sure you want to do this?
Well, that's the thing though. It's just like it doesn't matter what the suit's worth. It doesn't matter economically if it's worth $100,000. Like, it's just money. What matters is allowing someone else the chance to create, allowing someone else the chance to express themselves. That's what matters more. Yes, of course, there is the thought of, well, I could probably use this. Like, yeah, I could, but, I could hold on to it. But, isn't it a little cooler to put something out there for other people and to give someone else the chance to, like, make something with it and continue that story? Because it, like, Spin, after I get the new one, Spin's not going to be used, and I want Spin to continue to be used. I want Spin to continue walking around. I want eventually to wander around and see my character walking towards me in the hallway of a convention somewhere. Like, that would be the coolest shit, like, possible. And of course I could give it to one of my friends or whatever. I could give it to one of my friends. I could legitimately just hand it over to one of my friends that wants a fursuit, and they could use it, and and it would be fine. But the problem is that all of my friends are more than capable of getting their own fursuits. They don't need it or really actually want it. But my audience might. Someone else in the audience that doesn't have a suit or doesn't have the means of getting a suit might really want that. I do have partial gear for Spin as well, and that will be coming with it as well. So all of the stuff that I've ever used for filming, like with Spin, will be coming to one person that will be randomly decided through a lottery. I will have no influence over whether or not the person gets it or not. Yes?
Could I possibly enter this raffle when you do it spin?
As long as you do not have a fursuit, you're allowed to enter.
How are you doing this? Does it?
It'll be posted
Where's
up on.
Even though I'm gonna be getting a suit, I'm having mine being made.
Yes, if you're already getting a suit, then I would respectfully ask that you allow people that do not have a suit to enter the raffle, because I want it to go to someone who doesn't have one.
But I can still enter either way. But
I mean, you could.
I'm just asking.
You could technically enter, but if you since you've already told me that you're getting a suit, then it would disqualify you from the parameters of the contest. The parameters being that someone
he's gonna be a partial. I mean, it's not a full suit, but
yeah, and that's still the whole thing. It's just like I want it to go to someone who doesn't have
enter
any.
For someone.
You know, I mean, you could do that. You could enter for someone else. You know, as long as it goes to someone who does not have a suit yet, that would be best. But we will see. I will be posting that up. I mean, this is a while out from all of this, because Leica Palette doesn't open back up until I think this fall. And then once I have that in order, I will do a video when I have everything done, and I get the new one, and we do like an unboxing and all the rest of that. Directly after I receive the new one, so that there's no interruption in video production or anything like that, then I will take Spin, and I will post up on Twitter a raffle. And you will have to comment on that thread, and then we will use a super cool algorithm to decide who gets it. You know, my preference being that it goes to someone who doesn't have a suit.
What is the color palette
for Spin?
What is the color palette for Spin 2.0?
We haven't actually determined the final color palette for Spin 2.0. I'll be posting some more stuff up on social media for that, so that people can kind of see it and see what Spin 2.0 is going to look like, because a kimono suit is a little different. It's a little cuter. It's a little bit more anime in styling, and so I want the color palette to be a little bit better, and I want to ground up design Spin to be fully and completely my character, because I bought Spin kind of off peg, and then I adjusted some of the different markings and things, and I kind of went from there. But I'm looking to change things up a little bit, and we're gonna change things up and make it a little better, a little nicer, and it's gonna, you know, it'll be a much more improved version of Spin, at least in my opinion. And let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. I will do this for all of those that are in the chat anyway. Let's see. I will link you guys Leica palette, and you guys can kind of see what that looks like.
So,
yes.
Will you be tuning into my stream is the real question.
I mean, I
Which
might.
chat are you typing it in?
I will put it in. I'll put it in the. Hold on 1 second. I'll put it in the call-in show stream. Like chat.
My apologies, I gotta go. I have one last thing to say. Scoop should start a podcast, and bye. My apologies for this abrupt leaving. Have a nice day, everyone.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye then. Let me get to their actual homepage and like a palette. There we go. Come on. This wireless mouse is not as useful as it should be. All right. I'll put this in here. And those of you that want to check it out, you can. But
Sorry, I didn't hear you that clear on where it was. Did you say YouTube live stream chat?
No, it's going to be in the Discord chat under Furry Talk Show. Yeah, those are going to be that's going to be what we do. But anyway, guys, that's going to be about it for the live stream. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you to everyone that participated in asking questions or generally keeping up with the conversation. We will be doing another one on Friday again. I will determine if the time needs to be changed and backed up a bit or pushed out a bit, depending. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for turning up, and it was an absolute pleasure. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things. I think maybe if you haven't already, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Link it to other people. Follow my channel for, I think we do weekly uploads now. So there'll be actual content there. I do occasional other live streams that are not call-in shows where I'm actually in suit and doing things. But I'm trying to do one of those every week. I'll probably be doing those sometime after shooting on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending. And depending on if I have time and depending if I haven't fallen down dead from exhaustion. But anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys with me, and I will